Well, hello, Crypto fam. Hope you guys are good. So it's been a while since I've done any of these videos. Um, let's get right into it, right? So a lot has happened over the last few days, few weeks, few months. A lot of people who are in crypto are asking themselves so many questions. Is the bull market coming or is it gone? What's really happening? Or has crypto changed? We're not going to have a bull run. Where are we? With the war happening in Iraq, in Iran and Israel. How is that likely, to influence the market? Are we going to see a World War III? And what will that mean for Bitcoin? What will that mean for crypto? What will that mean for, humanity? So I know that we're all running with all sorts of questions in our heads. I certainly am, right? So when this war actually broke out, I thought the markets were actually going to be nuked. And to my surprise, the cryptocurrency market, I've not really followed the stock market, but the crypto market has not really moved that much. And now we don't know whether if it wasn't for the war, maybe the market would be a lot higher than what it is right now, or whatever the case is, right? So, but what is important is that we're going to talk about the bull run maybe later on in this video, what my personal take is. But what I do honestly believe is that, there is no going away for crypto. If anything, crypto is actually going to get bigger and bigger from here. There are so many signs right now of what you've been saying all along, that the financial system is changing from what we know to something that is completely new. And blockchain and crypto are going to be at the center of this. That is why right now there are so many different movements when it comes to the issuance and the regulations of stable coins, because they will become very, very central in this new dispensation of crypto assets and so forth, because they do honestly have some great advantages for regulators, governments, and everybody that wants to control us. Which I might not necessarily go very deep into that as far as that's concerned, but it is clear that CBDCs are coming, and with that, stable coins are going to play a huge role in terms of how people transact. But over and above that, I do think that the cryptocurrency market is actually going to mature. Bear in mind that how early we are right now, only 4% of the human population is involved in Bitcoin or holds some Bitcoin. Only 7% of the human population is involved in crypto. So we're still very, very early in terms of the opportunities, right? So what I've been urging people over, some time is that yes, it's important for us to focus on buying crypto assets, looking at different ecosystems and all of those things. But the most important thing is that we actually have to either find ways of how we can get more meaningfully involved, whether we're going to start our own projects. Let's look at what problems are there and how does crypto help to solve those particular problems, right? And we find ways of how we can get this those expertise needed for us to move into that direction. And if we cannot, maybe we don't have the resources, maybe we don't have the expertise, then we need to find people who are genuinely building something solid within the space and see how we can partner with those people, right? But having said that, it's important for us to understand that these are still early days. We're gonna see a lot of ups, we're gonna see a lot of downs, but in the long term, we are actually gonna see crypto going up majorly. But let's have a look at how the market has performed over the last few days to really show that how crypto has actually matured over the years, right? So if we look at this, this is CoinGecko. Let's look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin over the last 1 hour, it's down 0.1%. Over the last 24 hours, it's down 2.2%. But over the last 7 days, and I think the war is actually more than 7 days now, but over the last 7 days, Bitcoin is up 1.1%. Guys, this is unheard of. If you look at the past, last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, whenever there is any regional conflict, it normally had a huge and direct impact into the cryptocurrency market, right? So, is this being manipulated or is crypto actually maturing, right? I do honestly believe that there could be a mixture of both. I do believe that crypto is maturing. People are actually seeing the relation, or or not, in terms of excuse me, what is happening in the cryptocurrency market and what is happening on a global scale. But if anything, for those of us who maybe had fears this could turn out to be a World War III, whatever the case is, I do honestly believe that it will not turn out into a World War III. Because I think the market would have actually priced that in. I mean, Bitcoin would be maybe even at $60,000 if that was actually going to be the case. But I don't think that's actually going to be the case. So my view is that let's just continue stacking. Let's just continue. I like what Simon Dixon says. Make sure that this month you have more Bitcoins than you had the last month, even if it's just a few Satoshis as a difference, right? That actually makes a huge difference in the long run, bearing in mind that there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoins to ever exist, right? So as far as the bull market is concerned, what I do want to mention is that if you look at the bull run of 2017, bull run of 2021, those are very, very different to what we are actually experiencing now. Let me tell you why. If you look at the number of coins that are available right now versus the number of coins that were available, back then in 2017, you'll find that there was much fewer coins that were available in circulation. So in other words, liquidity when it comes in, it did not have lots of different coins to actually go into. So that is why we had an all things bull run in 2017. Now, if you look at 2021, we also had something similar. Now, what is different right now? It seems like there's a lot of concentration on Bitcoin. That's why I've been urging people that let's find ways to accumulate more Bitcoins because what we will find in this bull run is that one, there will be a lot of money going into Bitcoin, right? I still believe that Bitcoin could go as high as 200,000, 250,000, maybe even more in this year, right? But over and above that, if you don't have, obviously, if you don't have any more things disturbing that, right? But over and above that, I do believe that other ecosystems will actually even grow, things like Ethereum, things like Solana. But I don't think that every single coin that is on the market right now is actually going to experience a bull run. So you need to be very, very careful in terms of how your portfolio is structured in such a way that, how much of it is the Bitcoin, how much of it is layer ones, that are specifically focusing on DeFi, how much of it is meme coins, how much of it is, real-world assets and all different narratives. So you have to make that determination yourself, right? Nobody is gonna make that for you. But for as far as I'm concerned, I do believe that anyone who's serious about the space should be more weighted towards Bitcoin and then everything else, right? But how that looks like is entirely each individual's, circumstances. I mean, even if you go to Coin Desk and you look at the news, I mean, the news seems to be quite bullish, right? Remember, Bitcoin reached $100 as early as December 2024, right? So it's been quite a while, but Bitcoin is literally over $100,000. So this is the new normal, right? As they say it. And I do honestly believe that from here, it's busy consolidating right now, but from here, it's actually gonna go maybe as high as $150,000. We don't know. We just have to look at the market. And for me, I don't try to time the market. I do honestly believe that it's better. More time in the market is better than trying to time the market as far as Bitcoin is concerned, right? So these are the news, guys. I'm not even gonna rate them, but you can see that there's actually quite a lot that is happening in the crypto space. This is a helpful website as well, for you to get, news regarding Bitcoin, regarding the cryptocurrency market, as you can see here, right? So with that being said, with that being said, good people, let's stack some Bitcoins, find a way to stack some Bitcoin. And as you are staking, learn as much as you can, learn about decentralized finance. It's here to stay. Learn about real assets, they're here to stay. Learn about, all the different ecosystems in DeFi, things like Sui, things like Solana, things like, Avalanche. I mean, I think even things like Polkadot will surprise us one of these days because there's still a lot of development happening behind the scenes. So those are things that you might want to look at as you are studying Bitcoin. But with that being said, thank you so much. We shall see each other on the next video. Ciao for now.